What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the physique update of Brandon Curry. Less than 3 weeks out of this year's Arnold. So the much needed high carb day, that did him really good. That really worked. Because look at him right now. As the man looks way fuller and rounder right now. And his conditioning is also continuously improving day after day. So Brandon Curry, for those of you guys who do not know, is 42 years old. And out of all the guys who are competing in the men's open class right now as pros, Brandon has by far the most experience because the man made his Olympia debut back in 2011 and we are now in 2025. So when we talk about having the longevity and some of the best to ever do that, Brandon Curry's name, that should 100% be in that list. Although the man doesn't get enough credit for his longevity. Now he's not young anymore. I think we have already established that. But the man still has one of the best V-tapers and X-frame in the open class right now. And the shape is what has carried Brandon Curry so far. Because even the year when he won the Arnold, as well as the Olympia, he wasn't the most ripped and straight guy on the stage. But he had that unbelievably beautiful shape, that round 3D muscle bellies. Now Brandon and where he was training since 2017, the O2 gym in Kuwait. Those guys favor more size, as we have seen the careers of Big Ramy, Rolly Winkler, and even a guy like Regan Grimes. All these guys absolutely blew up in terms of size in the O2 gym, because conditioning isn't their first priority. So this upcoming Arnold, and the final package of Brandon, that is gonna be a totally different one, since the detail is the priority here, and they're going for more conditioning, and bring more separation. Because at this point, everybody knows, and even Brandon himself knows, they just cannot outmuscle a guy like Samson Dauda or even Andrew Jack. So he has to rely on being more shredded and bring that next level of conditioning. Something we haven't seen from Brandon in a long time. Now, no disrespect to Brandon at all, but most of us do not see him in the top 3, no matter what he brings to the table. But do let me know what you guys think if you guys disagree with that. Guys, Mr. Olympia Signature Series is now live on hostel.com. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% discount and click the arrow below to check out all the hostel products. Next up, we have an update of the former 2 times Olympia champion Big Ramy, who was spotted in Riyadh Muscle Show, and you can just see a glimpse of his current size. Now it is very interesting that Big Ramy in an interview said that he did his very best in his days and now he just enjoys coming to these kind of events. Now I know most of us fans, we wanna see him go for one last one, maybe at the Olympia, one last show. But it seems like the bodybuilding days for Big Ramy are behind him.
My name is Ramy Sibai from Egypt. I'm a Mr. Olympia 2 times. I have a small career in bodybuilding. I think I did my best in this game, but I still enjoy when I come to the sport for support the sport for other things. I'm really like to be in the first time here in Dubai Muscle Show or Riyadh Muscle Show, and I think it will be a good opportunity to make the sport growing more than before. And I think it's a good a choice to have that place because Riyadh is the center for the Middle East. I think it will be good for a few years and growing more than that. And he will support all the sports, not just for bodybuilder like me, but for the whole sports. I think it's a good opportunity to have that in Saudi Arabia.
And all those rumors that were started by his sponsors a few months ago or a few weeks ago, they were just all rumors. Now don't get me wrong, the man still looks massive here. But looking at his offseason back in the day, when he was chasing Phil Heath, that offseason size of Big Ramy, that was scary as hell. And he is nowhere close to that now. And that too for a very good reason. He spent most part of his pro career weighing over 300 pounds, which must have had a toll, not only on his overall health, but on his organs as well. Now the man is 40 years old, so if there are no plans of him making a comeback, there is just no point in maintaining that kind of size. Now based on his last show, which was the Arnold Classic back in 2023, it is clear that he's no longer a contender for that Miss Olympia title, even if he commits to doing the Olympia again. Because that I think we can all agree was one hell of a physique. And even Big Ramy himself said that was one of the best looks of his career. and he got 4th place at that show. Now that pretty much sums up that the judges just aren't favoring his physique anymore. Guys, Gorilla Wear is offering a massive discount of up to 70% right now. Use the code Fazi10 to get 10% extra discount. So Derek Lunsford just dropped a 4 weeks out update on his YouTube channel when he made the tour to New York at the Babs gym, and there are plenty of comments saying that he doesn't look shredded enough for 4 weeks out and that he looks smooth. Well, that might be true because we have seen the previous preps of Derek Lunsford, especially this past Miss Olympia, where the man looked so damn ripped and shredded even at 6 weeks out of the show that it just looked like he had the second standout in the bag. But at this point, I think we can all agree all that matters is how you show up on the stage, how you look for those 30 minutes on the stage. And Derek showed up with downsized legs that totally threw off his proportions. So we have to wait for the final package. And we have to keep in mind, he's working with a coach like Chris Aceto, one of the all-time greatest coach in the bodybuilding history. And a lot can change in a matter of 4 weeks' time. Now Derek has been saying that he continued to dig deeper to get that extra 5% for the Olympia last year, and that kind of backfired. Now from all of his recent talks, he also gives a pretty clear indication that he was overtraining on very low calories and very low carbs. And it is quite common that the most vulnerable muscle group, that is the first one to suffer. So that must be taken into account for this year's prep. Now rest assured, Derek will bring a better look to this year's Arnold compared to what we saw at the Olympia last year. Now will that be enough to beat a guy like Samson Dauda? Well, that is in the judge's hand, and we will find that out in 4 weeks' time. So greatness always comes at a great cost, and this is what we can see from Flex Lewis's recent confession that how pushing his body to the ultimate limits that has led to him having the most painful last 6 months. Now this was because of a torn meniscus, 2 torn labrums, and also a nerve compression that contributed to daily pain, and that made training literally impossible. And for that same reason, he was advised to take time off from the gym completely. Yes, Flex Lewis has been retired from the pro bodybuilding for so many years now, but he still loves to train. So right now Flex is getting a different type of therapy to get rid of that pain and be back in the gym. But that's the thing, he fully accepts that all those years when he was being the undisputed king of the 212 division, I mean he is the goat of the 212 because he won 7 titles in a row. This is the price that he has to pay for that greatness. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise that Flex was unable to pursue men's open division after saying goodbye to the 212 back in 2018, because if you guys remember, he had to level up for the open class. And during the first year of pushing food, he started having those digestion problems that eventually led him to making this decision of hanging up the posing trunks. Ross Patrick, the 2023 Cali Pro champion, also dropped a physique update with the announcement that he most likely won't compete for the 2nd year in a row. Now he's also very open about this fact that his mindset isn't in the right place to be 100% in terms of every aspect that makes him a better bodybuilder on the stage. And he also had all sort of problems, with the most lethal one being was that he could not feel his muscles in his legs, arms and in his back. And this type of issue, that can be the end of the road for any combative bodybuilder. But somehow Ross was still able to make some progress during last year in the off-season. His arms in particular looked visibly improved. And we all know Ross has the best quads in the men's open bodybuilding at the moment. And it is just his upper half that needs to come up because it is nowhere near his lower half. So he's missing a lot of that balance on the stage. Still, he was good enough to beat the likes of Tony Burton and Sergio Oliva Jr. 2 years ago. Now, I was actually looking forward to him stepping back on the stage this year because he was gonna come back after a more than 1 year's gap. But at this point, it seems like that just isn't gonna happen this year. A very anticipated pro debut is coming up at this year's New York Pro from Colusius Ken or Kennedy at this year's New York Pro. And here we are looking at his 15 weeks out physique update. Now to give you guys just an idea what kind of a freak you guys are looking at, just have a look at his guest posing from back in 2024, his first one as an IFB Pro. That's some jaw-dropping size right there for a guy who just had one off season after getting his pro card. And looking back at his physique, that led him to winning his pro status. It is absolutely clear that the man just has awesome quads, great symmetry, the arms need to come up. Now judging from that physique, and based on this most recent physique update, it seems like he has been able to bring them up big time. Now we have seen pictures of him hitting some shots with Carlos Thomas Jr. And those pictures also paint a clear picture that we have another freak in town. Now the Neo Pro lineup this year is gonna have some great depth, but this will also be so helpful for Kennedy, where his physique is at, compared to some seasoned guys, and make changes accordingly for the future. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.